Hello, my name is Muhammad Nuridin Ashmawi and I'll be talking about the introduction. Environmental education plays an important role in helping students to understand the importance of protecting their environments. Schools are responsible for developing students who are not only academically capable but also socially and environmentally responsible. Through environmental education, students can learn how their action can affect nature and how they can contribute to environmental sustainability. Teachers play a significant role in promoting environmental awareness among students. However, while teaching these values, teacher must also follow the professional ethics. Professional ethics guides in teaching ensure that the learning process is inclusive and that students' dignity and well-being are protected. While teaching these values, teacher must also act responsibly, fairly, and respectfully toward the students. This report discusses an ethical issue studies involving environmental education in a school setting. It also presents a mini-activity module that teachers can use to promote environmental awareness among the students. So, for this case, a scenario was given, and the scenario is Miss Nadia is a secondary school science teacher who introduced a green sustainability project to encourage students to create innovative products using recycled materials and to propose solutions for reducing pollution in their communities. The project aims to promote environmental awareness, creativity, and critical thinking among students. However, during the implementation of the project, ethical challenges arise in the classroom involving fairness, student participation, cultural sensitivity, and student dignity. As a professional teacher, Ms. Nadia must address this issue while adhering to the Code of Ethics for Malaysian Teachers to ensure a respectful, inclusive, and supportive learning environment.
First, I will explain the issues related to socio-economic background. In this project, students were asked to create innovative products using recycled materials. However, some students came from lower income families and they have difficulty finding materials to use for their projects. Because of these situations, some students feel embraced and lack confidence when compared to the classmates who are able to bring better materials. As a result, the participations in the activity became limited. Because they were worried and the projects would not look as good as the others. These situations shows how difference in students' background can affect their learning experience and participation in classroom activities. So, why this is an ethical issue? These situations become an ethical issue because teachers must ensure fairness and equal learning opportunities for all students. According to the Code of Ethics for Malaysian Teachers, teachers must treat all students fairly and respect their dignity regardless of their background. If teachers ignore these issues, it may cause some students to feel excluded or disadvantaged in the learning process. Therefore, teachers must be sensitive to students' socioeconomic backgrounds and create a classroom environment where students has an equal chance to participate and succeed. Regardless of these issues, teacher must take actions. So, to address this issue, Ms. Nadia took several actions. First, she collected recycled materials from around the schools, such as plastic bottles, paper, and boxes. These materials were then provided to the students who needed them. By doing this, Ms. Nadia ensured that all students had equal access to resources for the project. This approach allows students to focus more on creativity and environmental awareness instead of worrying about the cost or availability of materials. So, ethical assessment method. In addition, Ms. Nadia also used a fair assessment method for the project. The student project will evaluate based on their creativity, effort, and idea in solving environment problems. The assessment was not based on the cost or quality of the material used. This helps ensure that students from different backgrounds were treated fairly. Without this method, every student had an equal opportunity to perform well and contribute to the environment project. That's all from me. Thank you.
My name is Kuberku Sheyan. Today I will be presenting ethical issues number 2, favoritisms in the classrooms. So the scenario is, the second ethical issues involves favoritism in the classrooms. During the project presentations, Ms. Nadia unintentionally gave more attention and praised students who were more confident, outspoken, or academically strong. These students were more willingly to share their ideas and actively participate in discussions, which caused the teachers to respond to them more frequently. Meanwhile, a quieter or less confident students receive less feedback and encouragement during the activity. The situation created feelings of unfairness among students when students believe that only certain classmates receive recognition. They may feel ignored or less valued and even less motivated to participate in learning activities. Research in education suggests that when teachers unconditionally favor certain students, it can affect the classroom equality and students' self-confidence. In an environmental education project, equal participation is important because every student should have the opportunities to share ideas about protecting the environment and developing sustainable solutions. So why is this unethical? Teachers must ensure fair and equal participation for all students. Secondly, favoritism can reduce students' confidence and motivations. Thirdly, according to Code of Ethics, Malaysians teachers should treat all students fairly without bias. So, for the action taken is introduce a clear and transparent assessment rubric. Secondly, ensure all students had equal opportunity to present their ideas. Thirdly, encourage group discussion so quieter students should participate. Fourthly, provided equal and constructive feedback to every student. So for the ethical assessment method, projects were evaluated based on creativity, teamwork, effort, and understanding of environmental issues. The feedback was given fairly and respectfully to all students. That's all from me. Thank you.
For my part, I would like to talk about the suggested activity for the students. The activity is recycling sorting games. The objective is to teach students how to sort waste correctly and awareness on maintaining environmental cleanliness. The step-by-step activity plan is number 1, prepare items like papers, plastic bottles, cans and food wrappers. Number 2 is to provide boxes labeled as paper, plastic, metal, glass and organic. Number 3, ask students to take turn placing items in the correct box. And lastly, ask each student to state one benefit of recycling or what products can be made by the waste items.
Hello, my name is Sabrina and I will be presenting about teachers' role and ethical consideration that teachers should teach and should apply in their teaching. The first role and ethical consideration that teachers should apply in their teaching is mastery in the subject. Before teaching about recycle to students, teachers should do their own research about recycle. For example, teachers should know what is recycle, teachers should find out the types of recycle, and teachers should also know how to do recycle. This is because if teacher know about all of this, teacher will be able to teach about recycle to students based on the facts and not just assumption. This is important so that teacher would be ready for the lesson and also can relay the lesson perfectly to the student. The next role and ethical consideration that teachers should apply in their teaching is integrity. Integrity should be applied when teachers are marking students' assessment. While marking student assessment, teachers should give them mark fairly without any favoritism. And teachers should also not give high mark to students who are good in attitude but bad at academic. And also, teachers should not give low mark to students that are bad at attitude but good at academic. Meaning to say, just because a student is good at attitude doesn't mean they deserve to get high mark in academic assessment. While for students that have bad attitude, just because they have bad attitude doesn't mean they should get low mark if they are actually good at academic. The reason that integrity is important is because it could ensure honest feedback to student and it can also help the student to improve in the future. Imagine if teacher does not apply integrity in marking students' assessment. Student will not know if they are actually lacking or if they are actually need improvement. While students who are actually good in academic will think that they are still lacking in the subject. So that's why integrity in marking students' assessment is important. And the last role and ethical consideration that teachers should apply in their teaching is being committed. Teachers who are committed will always teach their students with enthusiasm and persistence. They also always care about the students' learning and their well-being, instead of just focusing on finishing the syllabus. This is important to ensure the knowledge really reach the students instead of the knowledge instead of just relaying the knowledge, but teacher make sure that the knowledge really get through the students. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, my name is AJ Ingeriano Jere, and I'm going to talk about the student outcomes. So, from the issues we identified, we can see a lot of positive outcomes among the students. The first one is that participation really improved because everyone had equal access to materials. Since the school provided recyclables, students didn't have to worry about money and they felt more confident to join in. Next is the use of clear assessment rubrics made things fair for everyone. Students felt more appreciated, especially those who are usually quiet, and this helped boost their motivation and confidence. At the same time, students were able to develop important skills like creativity, critical thinking, teamwork, and communication through the hands-on activities. They also become more aware of environmental issues and how they can make a difference. Overall, the classroom became more inclusive and supportive, and students not only enjoyed learning more, but also develop a stronger sense of responsibility towards the environment. Thank you very much. I'll pass it on to my friend who's going to present after this.